Hey guys, welcome again to another edition of Find Ways to Win. I'm your host, FitzgeraldStephens. Good to see you guys again. Good you guys listen to it. Thank you that we picked up a couple of new subscribers. The channel is growing, and I definitely want to give thanks to you guys for that. I know, hope you won't get tired of saying that because I'm certainly not tired hearing that rather because I'm certainly not tired of saying that. Simple thing just came on my mind a little bit ago. I've been actually thinking about this for a while. But have you ever asked yourself the question of, am I built to work for someone else? Am I am I built just to keep working on another person's game? Am I happy knowing that knowing that I'm fulfilled or partially fulfilled or not fulfilled at all while I'm working for someone else? Does my mind wander that I could be doing something for myself and my family, building something to leave my children, my loved ones, or the foundations, the things that I care about. Just leave something behind, something that will outlive me, something that will continue to grow, something that will take root and grow into a mighty tree, something that I created with my own hand and my own intellect and my own mind. Um, it's a fact of the matter is there are millions of people who ask themselves that question every day. Some of you are very very good at what you do. You're very good at your chosen profession, your chosen craft. Some of you just absolutely love what you do, love who you work for, the company you work for, and the people there. You like the management. That's great and dandy. Some of you are on the opposite end of the spectrum. It's tough for you to get in. It's tough for you to stay motivated throughout the day. It seems like the job is nothing more than a drudgery to you. It's a struggle. It's something that you have to constantly plow your way through. You know you need to work. You know you need to earn a paycheck. You know you need to take care of your responsibilities and those who are dependent upon you. But yet your heart is someone else. It's looking at it's somewhere else. It's looking at, gosh, what can I do to to create something for myself? What can I do that I don't have to keep punching the clock for someone else besides myself? How can I become an entrepreneur? How can I become? How can I build something that's going to take care of me instead of my talents always building something for someone else and it takes care of them and their family? What can I do? What can I make a difference? And how can I make a difference? And what is there? What do I continue to be frustrated throughout my life? I can't see myself keep continually working like this, working the building thing that think that I probably have a pension or maybe a 401k or my Roth or my investments. Those things are good and dandy, ladies and gentlemen. But for those of you who long for something more, for those of you who perhaps have been walked off a couple of jobs and with seemingly very flimsy reasons, for those of you who didn't fit in the crowd, for those of you who can be in a room and you just don't really fit together with your coworkers. You don't want to go and don't want to deal with the office politics. You don't want to deal with a lot of stuff coming there. You just want to create. You just want to do your job, go home and do your job in an excellent manner. But you keep having this long in your heart that I know if I can make wealth for someone else, I can build it for me and my family. So how do I get started? What do I do? What are the steps that we could take? Well, many people ask themselves those questions and may ask themselves those questions every single day. Some people it's literally consumes them, even though their body is in their office. Their mind is not there, and their mind is looking at something else. Maybe they read an article about a successful entrepreneur and they say, gosh, I could do that too. And they start gravitating towards people who are building industries and building companies. And right now, in this season, this day and age that we're in right now, often they are young people. You know, they're getting out there and creating things, whether you use the internet or especially with the internet or some other mechanisms that they got. Could it be perhaps that they are taking advantage of, should I say? Could it be perhaps that they saw their parents' generation, and not throwing any shades on my generation or the generation before me, but I'm talking about the kids, the 30-year-olds and the millenniums, as they would so-called say. Could it be that they saw that the end result of maybe Pop and Mom working a job and putting in the work and putting all that time in, only once they retired to maybe expire, but a couple of years later, or didn't have enough income, to really live their dreams. And they would talk about traveling and doing things for themselves, or how they're going to get retired. And when they retired, and all of a sudden they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough money still left after working all those years. And some of those kids, are looking at things saying, "Hey, I don't want that." I often hear a lot when I'm out in the public, especially down in the Tampa area, which I happen to live. I hear this, and people say, "Well, young kids are just lazy now. They don't want to work. They don't want to do. They don't got the morale. They're lazy and stuff like that." And it's easy to buy into that, but if you start examining that and you start looking at that, why are they like that? Could it be that they're seeing something from looking at the previous generation they don't want? Maybe they don't want to spend 30 years on a job, or don't have a good quality home life or and professional life. Maybe they just don't want to be on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Maybe they don't want to work under reasonable supervisors and getting 25 cents or $2 raises every 6 months and all that. Maybe they see more in themselves, and they see more in themselves with the opportunities, especially available now, that the previous generation never saw. And I think it's in the heart of most individuals to want to have their own enterprise, to want to have their own game. Many of us are tired of working for ourselves. Many of us have, when you face a couple of job losses, no fault of your own, all of a sudden you're great at 1 year, then the next year you don't fit in, or they got your door access is blocked. You don't really know why. You did everything right. You leave Friday, and you come back on a Monday or Tuesday at the remote or something, and then all of a sudden your pass doesn't work to open the door. I've had that happen twice in my career. No explanations. You're seemingly doing everything good, and after a couple of those times, you could become jaded. You can say, you know what, I've had it. I don't want to go out there and look for another job. I know I need to make income, and that's the difference. Now, you do need to make income while you're building your enterprises, and you can make income in a matrix of ways. Take a second job, do a ride share, maybe do some ghostwriting for people, or maybe help people put videos together, so maybe put a cell phone repair center, or maybe you have barber skills. You're a very good barber, a hairdresser, so you can actually get income in. But the income is only for you to be able to take care of your expenses while you're trying to raise capital, and you're paying the price to learn what you can do to operate your own game. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's so important to leave a legacy behind. And that can be done in so many ways. A man doesn't necessarily man or woman doesn't necessarily have to be a father or mother, to want to leave a legacy behind, or to leave a legacy behind. I never had children, and so but I still want to leave something behind. I still want to leave something that can empower and help other people, or those of you who are blessed with children. You want to leave something behind. I picked up recently. I met this multimillionaire happens to be in the business of real estate and land development. He's a real estate rather, a land developer and an attorney. And he's done very well for himself, done extremely well for himself. And he was telling me, well, I was asking him, "Are you retired?" Yeah, yeah. Well, he said, "No, I don't really think it's time for that right now." Keep in mind, he was in his 60s and just excited about his career as ever. He said, "I just want to make sure that I'm building something for my children now." Other words, where when I get ready to step out, they'll have something that they can walk into. And many people do that. Many business owners have that thing in mind, that they want to be able to pass things down to their offsprings, or if their offsprings don't want it or not capable of running it, they will give the causes that they really believed in. One of the guys come to my mind right now is Andrew Carnegie. Was a huge philanthropist back in the early part of the century. Just gave so much money away to different causes. Another was Mr. Gaskin, of Birmingham. He was a multimillionaire who really supported the causes of Martin Luther King and several other civil rights things. He just wanted to give. Or maybe you have a thing where you want to do a little bit both. But the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, the choice really is up to you. If you're cool doing what you're doing, how you're doing, if it's serving you well, keep doing it. I'm not here to bash people who have jobs. I'm not here to bash who have a great career they like. Hey, man, you found your safe place. That's good. I'm not here to tell everyone that, hey, everyone, you ought to get out there and launch your own business and, forget this working for other people, and that's just a fool's errand. I'm not going to dare say anything, but against that. And if you want to get out there and really just to get to a place where, hey, I don't want to keep doing this for someone else. I know there's more into me. If my talents are good enough for someone to hire me, they are good enough for me to hire myself. I'll say that again. If my talents are good enough for someone to hire me for my talents, they're good enough for me. They're good enough for me to hire myself. And so what we look at things, and situations. All these questions come about, mostly spawned by the demon of fear. But you have to ask yourself, 5 years, 10 years, it's going to come. Where do I want to be? Do I like the way I'm going now? Can I see myself winning now? Do I want to sit there on my deathbed or the end of my final chapter of life and saying, I wished I would have started that business. I wished I would have struck out on my own. Many people have that conversation at very, very late in their lives, and they have it with regret because they knew there was something in them that they could have built something for themselves as opposed to just going ahead and building out for someone else. The choice ultimately belongs to you. For me, I don't think I'm built to work for anyone else. I mean, I've done it. I will do it. I will do it until it gets me in a position where I can really strike on my own. That's what I constantly think about. How can I put something together for me? And I got a couple ideas that are in the working right now. But how do I put something where eventually I can have my freedom? Freedom, it defined to me as have a command over my own life, my own choices, have enough time and money to do what I want, when I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want. That's what freedom is to me. Freedom is being able to travel. I mean, when I was in Senegal this past May, my first time to Africa, and Senegal was my first African country, so it always holds a special place in my life. I felt so good being over there. I felt so good experiencing the different sights, the sounds, the smells, the culture, and everything. And it was just a great experience. And I'm like, wow, what if I could do this often? What if I could do this often, where I could meditate on atmospheres like this and think of ways to do better and think of ways to build better, to create. And that's another thing. You got to be in the right environment. Some of you guys could have never prospered in your hometown like you are now. Some people, when they be able to prosper in their home countries like they do by going to someone else. You gotta be in fertile ground. You have to be around opportunities. You have to be around people, opportunities that you see that are available for you to take advantage of. You have to be around people who you can learn. I grew up in a town, a very very small town in Alabama, farm community. I had to leave there. I have classmates and families there right now. But they love it up there. But it wasn't my world to do what I want to do. For one thing, I had access to books, and I would read a lot, and I was exposed to a whole new world by looking at books, and I knew there was something out there, and I wanted to see more of the world. Incidentally, I left, and I've been left home for 40 years, 40 years ago. I think I would be a different man if I would have stayed there. I don't think I would have been, probably not as enthusiastic or energetic. I think my career would have took a drastic turn, or I could have maybe had a decent life. As far as there, I could have easily been a farmer, which would have been a great living. My family has the land, and we had the property. And that my grandfather certainly would have made it available for two for one if I wanted it, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to have my own business. I just wanted to be to see to build something that I could say is mine, and so many people that's in their heart. So we have to look at ourselves, and we have to ask ourselves, am I built to work for someone else? No. Now, before you say no or yes too quickly, or heck to the no, before you say that, well, then you got to take an account of, okay, what do you want to do? What would you like to do? And what's your plan for getting there? Especially your action plan. Who are you surrounding yourself? Are you in those circles? Are you getting that necessary education or that experience that you're going to need it to go to that next step, to go to that next step, to go to that next step? How well are you taking care of your mental health? Therapy is very necessary in life. Back when I was younger, it was not really spoken of much. Matter of fact, we were told, especially you guys, just man up, man up, man up. Don't make a difference. You was breaking or anything else, or going through problems just by being a human being. Somehow, you just had to poof, automatically solve that. The older I've got, I've learned that is just a big lie. Sometimes you need people to give you counsel. Sometimes you need people to send you in a way that's gonna make your stuff go better, work better for you, because you can learn from their experiences. You have to put in the action, the consistent steps, even if you're doing small steps. You want to be a great YouTuber, you want to build up an influence. Well, maybe you need to make a few more videos. Maybe you need to write a blog. Maybe you need to tell more people about your channel. I'm promoting my channel pretty often. Even especially when I'm off the air and talking about people, and that's one of the reasons it's been growing, because it's something I want to see. You have to be able to take criticism, constructive criticism, from people who care about you, from people who are getting the results you wanted, and you got to be obedient enough to follow that advice. Once you weigh if it's going to make a change in your life or not. Really, decisions is up to you. Now, for those of you who say, Fitzgerald, well, this particular, you made some great videos. You're looking at, I like the way you come in, like the way you're speaking. I like the practicality you're speaking. But I'm cool working for someone else. God bless you. God bless you. But you should want to advance, and you should be taking active steps to advance in your career, to take on more responsibility, to build better relationships, to where you can grow, to add on your education or whatever you need. You shouldn't just be saying like that, I'm comfortable and I've arrived and I'm cool where I am. I'm going to do a video. I already have a title called "A Comfortable Man," and that's going to challenge a little bit of that thinking. You should still want to advance. You start off on the lower tier. Well, you should have a vision of maybe the boardroom. Don't make that necessarily mean you want to go there or you want to get there, but you should have a vision of higher levels of responsibilities and higher levels of income and higher levels of networking, of a network in your thing, in your Rolodex or in your phone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is really about the life we choose. It's about the choices that we make, and the choices choose our life for us. Far as what if you're happy with yourself and you're happy with what you're doing, God bless you. That's on you. And even for those of us who really want to work for ourselves so bad as opposed to doing it to someone else, we can't get so impatient that we're unthankful. We're not grateful for the things and the blessing God has already given us. Things like good health, things like a great family, a loyal mate, your children, just the ability to be able to get up in the morning with peace of mind. Those are gifts. Many of those the most precious gifts, I believe, really money can't buy. I truly do. And just having that, just be not being in someone's jail cell. I mean, but just a simple thing. But what we want to create and what we want to become is our life, our decisions. We don't have to go around frustrated. We can learn to be content, but there is nothing wrong with wanting more. If you want to go out there and build that, build something where you don't have to work for someone else. I've already covered some steps that get there. There are many, many more, but let's give a few. Just some things just to trigger your mind, to let you know that hey, you're not alone in that. To let you know that hey, you can do that. To let you know it's going to take work. It's going to take consistent work. To let you know the rewards will be good for you and your family if you decide to step out there. If you don't decide to step out there, well, you already know what you can already look at your last 5 years and pretty much if you keep doing the same thing, it'll be a good future indicator of what your next 5 years is going to be. Now, so that's all I really have to say right now. Appreciate you guys listening. But just live your life, and that's the most important thing that money can't buy is time. And so let's not waste it, or we have wasted it. Let's repent it and get back onto using our time constructively for the betterment of ourselves, and then other people, and then society. We just need to do things a little different here in this age in order to get different, because times are changing, and you have to change with those times. You have to be more progressive, more active. The right now it's not necessarily the hands that build society. Now it's the thoughts and the minds. Yes, people have to put the skyscrapers together. They have to build the bridges. And I don't mean, and I'm not gonna sound like I'm throwing off on those men and women. No, not at all. Police officers and firemen, they're still needed to patrol the streets. You can't control that virtually. You can't, and so many things. But whatever you decide to do, just lock on it, do it, and you too can be free. You can be in a position where you're never working for anyone else but yourself. And I don't know about you, but that is one of my greatest desires. And thank you guys for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and share. And until next time, thank you for sitting with me and then just listen up while we chop it up together.